I spent my whole life searching for a shelter for my soul, an understanding of the greater plan. In these walls I've seen the light of love pure and divine, helps me remember who I really am. In every face it's clear, we're all God's children here, and it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It's a place to share your burden. It's safe to shed a tear, say a prayer and raise your voice in song, where every heart is honored and every path is true. No one's here to judge you right or wrong, and there's no shame, no sin in this place where love begins. And it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Good morning, hello, and welcome to this wonderful experience we call Unity in Lynnwood. So this morning, since everyone's pretty much back to school by now, I thought it might be a good time for us to go back to a few prayer basics. I do this sometimes with my own practice just to remind me really how simple prayer can be as long as we lead with our hearts. So there are a few simple steps that we follow in the Unity prayer tradition. So if you're open to it, simply close your eyes or focus your eyes softly on one spot and just listen to my words. Step one is to breathe and simply notice the sensation of your breath. Feel the in-breath sustaining you, and feel the out-breath just letting go of anything you don't need anymore. See if you notice how that might calm you almost immediately. The next step is to focus your breath on your heart and begin to feel that connection and awareness of God's presence through your heart. Spend a few moments here and acknowledge that gift of connection and union. Next, pay attention to your heart. Take a moment in silence to listen. What does it need? Perhaps to release an emotion, to forgive, maybe to set an intention for greater kindness. And for today, just let that first instinct guide you. Now, let your prayer come to you. Let that experience, whether it is words or sensations or emotions, fill you. Embrace that with your whole being and commit that prayer with every part of you. When you feel satisfied, just let go and release the prayer request. and know that you have shared your heart in its purest way. And so it is.
Feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
It helps, now and then, to step back and take the long view. The kingdom is not only beyond our efforts, it is even beyond our vision. We accomplish in our lifetime only a tiny fraction of the magnificent enterprise that is God's work. Nothing we do is complete, which is another way of saying that the kingdom always lies beyond us. No statement says all that could be said. No prayer fully expresses our faith. No confession brings perfection. No pastoral visit brings a wholeness. No program accomplishes the church's mission. No set of goals and objectives includes everything. This is what we are about. We plant the seed that one day will grow. We water the seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces effects far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything. And there is a sense of liberation in realizing that. This enables us to do something and do it very well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for the Lord's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the end results, but that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. We are the workers, not master builders. Ministers, not messiahs. We are the prophets of a future not our own.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning. So for those who don't know me, I am Stacy. I'm the Director of Youth and Family Ministries. And we've got lots going on for our fall and getting things prepared for our classrooms. But this morning, I actually want to highlight something that is in our hallway right now. We have some youth art in the hallway that was done by our very own Adina. And if you haven't seen it yet, it is the frog picture, and she has some wonderful words about that painting. It is awesome, and I recommend that you go take a look. So now, if you will help me bless all of our kids.
Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender.
Oh man, that's some fabulous energy there. Thank you, Stacy. Awesomeness. Beautiful art, too. Check it out. So, in case you don't know this, we take this welcome business very, very, very seriously here at Unity in Lynnwood. We openly embrace you regardless of your particular brand of religion, or perhaps no religion at all. We don't care about your age, your gender, your orientation, or even your weird shoes. I was hoping that Dr. Richard would cooperate and wear weird shoes, but today, in an unprecedented fit of normalcy, he's wearing plain old Oxfords. All right, go figure. So it was up to me. Thank you. Thank you. Weird shoes. Truth be told, I think actually here at Unity in Lynnwood, we kind of prefer a little bit weird, you think? Yeah, I do. Anyway, I feel like I'm among friends, I can say that. And just a reminder for the weirdos out there who would like to stay after service, in Friendship Hall today, it is generously sponsored by your Board of Trustees. They provide the hospitality, and all donations today will benefit Unity in Lynnwood's Building Fund, and we thank you in advance for your support. So if you were here a couple of weeks ago, you had an amazing treat. We were delighted to see a rendition of Reverend, as Dr. Richard calls her, Lady Gaga's Born This Way, performed by Matthew and Richard and the fabulous band and our incredible choir. You guys were awesome. And each of them revealed, by way of their t-shirts, their own particular aspect of uniqueness. And I don't know about you, but I was really moved by their candor and openness, and I think everyone in the audience was compelled kind of to take that to heart and to imagine their very own label and how they've been living with that their lives. And in the spirit of that, I think some of you have enjoyed the tales of the young Elizabeth, who we leave her wandering the halls of middle school. I don't know, she might get out of there sometime soon, I don't know. But feeling socially awkward and lonely and trying, in this case, to figure out which Joni Mitchell song she was living that day. But what saved me, even in those dark times as I struggled to find my tribe, were my friends. Because even in that confused state, there were confidants. There were real pals and there were real buddies that I still have, even to this day, who will welcome me with a smile and a hug, even if I haven't seen them for 30 or so years. So now, I try to drag out just a little bit of that love and kindness with every interaction that I have, whether it's a smile and a kind word to the clerk at the store, or to let a driver go in front of me, which we really do a lot of here in Seattle. You first. No, you first. No, you first. Or saying just an acknowledgement to my child's teacher about what a great job she does. Or even when I say namaste after yoga. I remind myself that practice makes progress. And from the spiritual side of my practice, it helps me to know, to truly believe that we are one indeed. And I want to thank you all for joining me on this remarkable spiritual path and for teaching me how to be human. Thank you. So, we speak of the importance of affirmative prayer here at Unity in Lynnwood. As Myrtle Fillmore said, never make an assertion, no matter how true it may look on the surface, that you do not want continued or reproduced. Okay, a visualization. What not to do. Standing in front of the mirror. I'm so fat. Okay, don't do that, all right? By practicing positive prayer, we consciously choose thoughts that focus on what we want to see rather than any loss or lack. And there are many ways to get prayer support here. There is a prayer slip in the seat pocket in front of you, and you can write down your prayer and slip it into the basket later in service or leave it at the welcome and information station, and it will get lots of attention this week from our prayer chaplains. You can call our confidential prayer line during the week or even go on our website and leave a prayer request there, and we will also receive that. And of course, after service, you can have a time of personal prayer with a prayer chaplain. You can find them up to the front sides of the sanctuary after service, and they would be delighted to sit and pray with you a little bit like we did earlier in the service. So may I ask the prayer chaplains to stand and be recognized today? Thank you. And if we need any extra assistance, I can stop and run into a nearby phone booth and help out, because it was my morning after all, so if you guys need me. Okay, so affirmations. They help our brain resonate with what's positive and what we want to envision. Okay, so in this case, what to do. I am fit and healthy. That's the good example, okay? When we positively affirm something, we invite our higher selves to hear that truth and to make it a part of who we are. Today's affirmation is displayed on the screen, and I invite you to listen while I read it, and then please feel free to stand, and we will all say it together. The rich substance of the kingdom of God is pouring its plenty perpetually into my mind and affairs, and we are in all ways prospered. Please join me. The rich substance of the kingdom of God is pouring its plenty perpetually into my mind and affairs, and we are in all ways prospered. Thank you, Mr. Fillmore. If you'd like to take a few minutes and just say hello to one another.
I wanna live my life unapologetically. I wanna take advantage of what I ought to be. I wanna show the world my potentiality. I wanna do it now, not eventually. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bound, unbroken, one life, right now. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One right now. All right, will you please welcome back Lori Jones and Eric Montgomery.
Good morning. Oh, it's a good one. I actually wrote this song in the fall, and you'll get a sense of why. So many years, so many seasons, following many a muse, every venture coming and going, as I'm pulled toward deeper truth. The hurting, the crying, the stumbling and trying, all part of a greater good. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence of me. Oh, oh, oh. Every step now, every decision is rooted by Spirit in me. Embracing this path now ever more fully, drawing to it what I need. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence. It's the essence of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The essence of me. Oh, oh, hey, oh. The hurting, the crying, all the stumbling and trying, it's all part of a greater good, yeah. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all those pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence, the sweet, sweet essence of me. Yeah, yeah. The essence of me. Let the rest fall away to the essence. Thank you very much. We've got another one. How's everybody feeling out there today? You feeling good? Something about coming together in community on these Sunday mornings. Well, anytime, but especially on these Sunday mornings and home. It feels good. It's the vibration, and that's what this song is all about. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me and you, and we're feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling so good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good, yeah. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me, yeah, yeah, ooh, oh, for me. Oh, stars when you shine, you know how I feel. The scent of a pine, you know how I feel, 'cause freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and a new way for me. And I'm feeling good. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. Hey, yeah, yeah. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling so free, so new, so good. Are you feeling good? We are feeling good.
Lori Jones, come see us again, girl. Woo! And it's so fun to hear the band. Normally the piano is so loud, Yeah. Thanks for being with us. It is good to be here, isn't it? Take a look around, will you? Take a look around. What a privilege, what a pleasure to be in the company of such noble souls. Do you agree?
Yes.
It's my experience of you every Sunday. What a privilege it is to be in the company of such noble souls. Welcome home. If you would like to retain your status as an active, eligible member of Unity in Lynnwood, put a check beside your name at the form at the Welcome and Information Station. If you are uncertain about what any of that means, you're welcome to engage an ambassador in conversation. These people are here to assist you in your exploration and discovery of this evolving, unfolding divine idea we call Unity in Lynnwood. There are two with you this morning. The first is Nan Allen. Nan, would you wave to these kind people, please? And the second is Welaine Sharples. Welaine, would you wave to these kind people, please? You will find Welaine at a table in Friendship Hall. It's called Let's Chat. If you would simply like to gather with other people for conversation and perhaps you don't feel comfortable walking up to a table that's deeply engrossed, Welaine is there to make it easy for you. What a gift. What a gift. Thank you, Welaine. I appreciate that very much. If you are an active, eligible member of Unity in Lynnwood and you desire to be considered for a 3-year term of service on our Board of Trustees beginning in January of 2019, grab a job description from the Welcome and Information Station. Your nominating committee is busy reviewing these even now. How blessed we are to have such wonderful, mindful, awake people who desire to step into that high level of leadership. Pet Blessing 2018. If you're like me, oh, my four-legged children, I'm telling you. Our resident Franciscan priest, Father Dan Duval, don't you love that? Our Franciscan does our pet blessing ceremony. We'll do this following the 11 o'clock service in the parking lot on the 30th of September. We ask, please make plans. Do not leave your living pets in a car during the 11 o'clock service. Fair enough? The reasons are really quite obvious. The first annual men's retreat. What a privilege yet again. I believe there are a few spots left. I really don't know after the 9 o'clock service. Here to issue a personal invitation is Tim Vokes, one of the 3 gentlemen who are chairing this event. Would you welcome him this morning, please?
Do I look like a guy who would go to a men's retreat? Just saying. So, on the 2nd through the 4th of November, the first weekend in November, we will be meeting at a place called Camp Huston, which is somewhere near Gold Bar or Sultan or something like that, for our first annual of many men's retreat. I was actually curious. I've never been on one of these before, and why would I want to do this? And the theme being spirituality for men. I've been watching my wife on her spiritual journey, and some of the stuff she's doing, I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's not for me. So the conversation is spirituality in men. What's good, what's bad, what's different? Maybe we'll learn something. And rumor has it, it's not 24 hours a day chanting around a campfire or things like that. We'll have plenty of time to do our thing, but we have a reverend who will be leading the Spirituality for Men discussion. So, if you'd like, please go out to the unityinlynnwood.org calendar. I couldn't find the men's retreat on it. There's a search bar, type in men's retreat, click on the link, and it'll help you sign up. Daniel or myself would be happy to help you in the fellowship hall afterwards. So I hope to see you there. Thanks.
kind of want that jacket. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Whew. Now, do I look like a guy who goes to a men's retreat? Woo! I'm ready for a men's retreat now. I'll give you one of my jackets. Who do we have with us on social media today? How about a name or two? Would you please join me in saying, Deborah, we see you. Christopher, we see you. Shirley, we see you. Fair enough. Shirley, we do. Shirley the Presence, thank you. Well done. Following this service, we will enjoy some Are you laughing at me in this jacket? Is that what's happening? You better stop. You better start laughing, or I'm going to go for the boots next. I'm going to end up with a motorcycle before this is over. Following this service, grab a nosh from Friendship Hall, and then please return to the sanctuary. You're welcome to bring a nosh with you today, and welcome Stacy. Get to know her in her new role as Director of Family Ministries. If you have questions about the programming that's being offered for your youth at Unity in Lynnwood, this is the opportunity to ask, and otherwise just to get to know her and to offer your well wishes. Practical spirituality, welcoming community, an admittedly short mission statement that I still believe speaks volumes. Imagine a teaching that is practical, that is useful, and imagine a community that is truly welcoming of you exactly as you are. What do you think of that? So every week I like to support this with one of the 6 bullet points which we developed in conversation with your Board of Trustees beginning in late 2014. How time flies. So be with me and consider if this is a spiritual value, if it's a position in consciousness with which you can align. Today's statement reads as follows: we seek to discover and to share spiritual practices which are repeatable and reliable, and to infuse these spiritual practices into every area of daily life. You good with that? I'm eager to find out what I will say today. The jacket might have changed things. There will be pennies involved. I intuit that already. The joy of this new beginning, this new exploration of speaking without notes has given rise to a new dynamic that works something like this. I come to the office on Thursday morning and I look at the topic which has been assigned to me by me. And then I throw it out. And for the past 2 months, that seems to be something of a reliable pattern. And it will prove true yet again this morning. And so we begin with Thursday's inspiration, Paleolithic man. Now I can hear you thinking already, oh, another Sunday morning that begins with a discourse on Paleolithic man, but bear with me. Paleolithic man Paleolithic man discovered that objects which are irregular in shape, are difficult to move from one place to another place. By extension, these early humans discovered that objects which were cylindrical or round in shape lent themselves quite nicely to being motivated. And so what we know about this era is these early humans learned to use fallen trees to move large and heavy, irregular objects from one place to another. Clever, yes? And this idea evolved in the hands, minds, and hearts of humanity. 3,500 BC or so in Mesopotamia. It's what we today would refer to as modern-day Iraq. We see the rise of the wheel. Now, it's not a wheel such as you might consider a wheel to be. The early wheel, which actually was a relatively late invention. You realize by the time the wheel came into being, the early humans were already using rope. They were already using sewing needles. So it's counterintuitive, really, that this evolution from Paleolithic man with his fallen tree to the early Mesopotamians with their potter's wheel, it's really counterintuitive. Nonetheless, the first one was exactly that. It was a potter's wheel. That was the first wheel. It was used for pottery. I love that. It had something to do with food. 300, what's that? The paleo diet. Thank you, Nancy Joy. 300 years later or so, we see the rise of what we would call a chariot. It's from the same geography. It's from modern-day Iraq. It's not the chariot of Hollywood. It's not the chariot of jousting and racing. Rather, it was a tool which was designed to assist people in moving things from one geography to another. We jump ahead to Greece, 600 BC or so, and we see the rise of what we in modern terms would call a wheelbarrow. Now, understand that with the rise of the wheelbarrow, the contemporaries were absolutely certain that they had found the destruction of life such as they had known it. For at that point, work that had taken days could be accomplished in hours. It was a frightening invention for the people of that geography. You know, the same thing happened with the rise of the modern train. Did you know that? People were certain that the rise of the modern train represented the demise of society. In fact, so frightened were people of the rise of the modern train because a human had not traveled at such excessive speeds before. It was widely thought that a human being who dared ride on a train would go insane. True. To hurtle through space at over 20 miles per hour, well, human is certain to lose all of his or her faculties. This idea continued to evolve through the hands, the hearts, the minds of humanity until the U.S. Patents Office offers that it was in 1791 that the wheel, such as we would understand it to be today, was first patented. So from Paleolithic man through 1791, where we arrive at something of a modern wheel, to 1893, that idea continued to evolve, and we found ourselves with the Ferris wheel. How dreary would life be without the Ferris wheel? It came into being at the Chicago World's Fair. It was in answer to the Eiffel Tower of the Paris World's Fair. And it said that the inventor of this Ferris wheel, jotted it down on a napkin in a chop house in Chicago. And so perfect was his design that it transferred from that napkin to reality virtually without departure. So from that Ferris wheel, the idea continues to develop. It continues to evolve through the hearts, through the minds, through the hands of humanity. I mean, how many people are gamers here? Can you imagine going to the casino to play a rousing afternoon of Russian roulette, the roulette trapezoid? The roulette octagon. I mean, you know, it wouldn't. How about a clock? I look at the clock in the back of the room. How grateful are we today that I can see a clock? Now, why do I tell you all of this? I think about the shopping cart. What about the shopping cart? Imagine going to Fred Meyer and just dragging that steel contraption around the aisles, no wheels. I mean, maybe you push it around on one of those fallen trees, I don't know. It's a good idea that has evolved from Paleolithic man and continues to evolve today. You know, the wheels, the tires that are on your car will not look like tires in the next 20 years, I can tell you that. Did you know that? You do your research. That's beyond the scope of a Sunday morning. Why would I tell you this? What in the world is he after? Where is he going? It's simply this. Paleolithic man did not invent the clock or the wheel or the roulette wheel. But what he did was he played his part in the evolution of an idea. He played his part in the evolution of that idea. And I think this is an important teaching point for those of us in New Thought. We've had a long and successful conversation about me. We've had a long and successful conversation about the fact that spiritual discipline can make my life better, and that is absolutely true. It is, however, only the beginning of the conversation. We are at a point in our development as a philosophy in which the conversation must shift from a me conversation to a we conversation, because you see, your best ideas, your wheels, if you will, do not belong to you alone. They do not end when you have reached the end of your earthly sojourn. They continue to be developed through the hands, through the hearts, through the minds of our descendants. You see, the ministry of Jesus is not finished. It was never finished in his lifetime. The work of King was not finished in his lifetime. The work of Lincoln was not finished in his lifetime. The work, the idea, the wheel continues to evolve and develop and unfold through the minds, hearts, and hands of humanity. We pass our best ideas to our descendants. There is a scripture that I believe speaks to this. It is from the psalmist. I believe it was 109, am I correct? 119. Thank you, Cameron, for keeping me on track. And it is written that thy word, may I interpret this to mean that highest knowing, that noblest of ideas, that most profound of callings that exists within you. Thy word, it exists as a lamp unto your feet. Think about that. A lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. This means what? What does it show you? It doesn't show you the whole path. It shows you what's next. It shows you what's next. So the question then becomes, are we willing to step into what's next? Trusting that it will do one of two things. Trusting that it will do one of two things. Either it will heal us or it will evolve us. And I happen to believe that if we were able to sustain a perspective of adequate spiritual distance, we would come to understand that those are really very much the same thing. I was a young pianist. I've been competing since I was, I don't know, small. And I was playing a piano concerto with a young person's orchestra. Now this is not boasting. I'm trying to make a point here because it's always struck me as being quite profound. I had a conversation with the mother of the percussionist who was in that young person's orchestra, and she disclosed to me that her son at that time, he was a freshman in college, so presumably 18 years old or so, that he was at a choice point in his life, and some of the choices which lay before him were really quite colorful. And she was concerned. And so it was that we collaborated on this particular performance. I have no idea. I've never spoken with this young gentleman about that performance. But according to his mother, there was something that happened through that collaboration that forever altered the choices he would make with his life. I thought I was playing a piano concerto. Little did I know. And isn't this the teaching? As we move from a me teaching to a we teaching, we realize that thy word, that those highest of ideas, that those noblest of dreams are not ours alone. They reach beyond us into our worlds in ways we will never know. This young man has gone on to become the principal percussionist with two major, and I do mean major, United States symphony orchestras. It was Michael Tilson Thomas of the San Francisco Symphony who said this young man represents the very future of classical percussion in the United States. Get ready for this. Yep. That's a lot of dark hair, right? That's a blast from the past right there. That's a blast from the past. Woo! Oh, heavens, heavens, heavens. All that dark hair, yeah, that's gone. That's gone. I thought I was playing a piano concerto. You know, the truth is that is the teaching right there, is that willingness to follow that next best idea, to step onto that path, to follow that footlight is not as personal as we would have made it. It makes a very real contribution to what I would say is soul expressing itself through each of us. That's what's happening here. You see, we come from a paradigm in which we realized, and thank God we did, that there is a wisdom that we can use. And that's a very good evolutionary step for humanity. We are not the victims of a fickle universe. I believe we're coming into a new era, though, in which we realize there is a wisdom that's capable of using us. It's not either or, it's both and. There's a wisdom that we can use, and there's a wisdom that can use us. It's from me to we. So I started to think about how we might make this moment fun, and I thought about the penny. After all, what is the penny other than the continued unfoldment of the idea that was launched with Paleolithic man. What is this if not yet another wheel, yet another circle? And besides, I thought to myself, it says, at that point when we step onto that path, when we follow that footlight, and we have that moment of uncertainty or that moment of resistance, all we have to do is look at it and read what's scribed across the top. In God we trust. And then I started to read further because I thought that's a clever idea, and I came to the realization that it was on this day in history, that the following was published. I'd like to read it to you. All persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be thenceforward and forever free. And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will do no act or acts to repress such persons in any efforts they may make for their actual freedom. So I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves within said designated states and parts of states are, and henceforward shall be free, and that the executive government of the United States will recognize and maintain the freedom of said persons, and upon this act, sincerely believed to be an act of justice, I invoke the considerate judgment of mankind and the gracious favor of Almighty God, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the United States to be affixed. President Abraham Lincoln. Today is the anniversary of the publication of the Emancipation Proclamation, and we find ourselves yet again at the same question. It is a work that continues today. It is a work that continues. It is a footlight that has been passed to us for our continued walk along that path. Where would we be if Abraham Lincoln had not followed that footlight, had not stepped forth on that path? So today you will have an opportunity to come grab a penny of your own, whether it is a symbol of possibility or even a symbol of commitment to your highest idea, to that noblest of callings. You will know when to come get your penny, because Matthew will begin singing. That is your cue. That concludes our rehearsal of that aspect of today's service. In the words of the poet, I believe it was spoken best when he wrote, "Understand that all great people who come into this world ultimately leave something of the same plea." It goes something like this: there is a power that is greater. I have access to that power, and so do you. So stand up. Claim your rightful place as a co-creator in this world. You were never meant to cower in my shadow, but instead to stand upon my shoulder and to reach further in your lifetime than I have been able to reach in mine. That is the real message of all great people. That is the real message of Jesus. And when we finally heed this message, his death will no longer be in vain. Let's take a deep breath together. And let's close those outer eyes yet again, those eyes that would imply a separation, a partiality, a limitation. So we close those outer eyes, not that we would turn from the truth, but that we might know a higher truth. And we follow the breath to that expansive inner realm in which we discover separation to be an illusion, limitation to be a lie, and partiality to be an apparition. And we ask the question of the morning then: is that noblest of idea for me? What is that highest calling for me? Willing to step onto that proverbial path, trusting the light of that idea, trusting the light of that calling to reveal the support I need. Am I willing to do that? Willing to make that contribution to soul unfolding itself through me. Trusting that in the end, it will serve only to heal, only to evolve.
Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Dr. Richard. A lot to think about there. I may not think of pennies again in quite the same way. And as we were sitting there, Tim leaned to me and he said, "Pennies from heaven?" I'm surprised we didn't hear that this morning. But there is a line from that song that I just looked up that I thought was really sweet about turning your umbrella upside down to receive pennies from heaven. So thank you for that. That was lovely. Okay, so now is the time in our service. We'd like to give you the opportunity to give back to support this amazing community we call Unity in Lynnwood, for all that we do receive here. As Charles Fillmore said, you should expect prosperity. I don't think he said pennies from heaven. When you keep the prosperity law, therefore be thankful for every blessing that you gain, and is deeply grateful for every demonstration as for an unexpected treasure dropped into your lap. And this morning, we also want to thank and acknowledge our gratitude to all of our online community for your donations made through our live stream and website. Thank you.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you, and please join me in this blessing. God is my source. God is our source. And that source supports the evolving, unfolding, soul-stirring idea that is Unity in Lynnwood in miraculous ways. And so it is. Thank you all, and thank you, ushers, for your service. So everyone had a first time here at Unity in Lynnwood. And we really like to welcome and acknowledge anyone who might be here for the first time. So we'd like to ask you, if you are, if you might raise your hand and let us welcome you with a little round of applause. Oh, hello. Careful, we all might descend on you now in Friendship Hall. Welcome, welcome. So if you are new or newer to Unity in Lynnwood, we just wanted to tell you about a few things that you could take advantage of. There's a welcome information card in the seat pocket in front of you. Feel free to take that with you. It explains a little bit about who we are and what we do. There's also a DVD when you exit the sanctuary that you can take with you, and it's full of lots of more good information. There's a stay in touch card in the chair pocket as well. You can fill that out and get a couple of emails a month about all the great things that are happening here. Just leave it at the welcome and information station, which, by the way, make sure that you visit for any more and additional information about anything I'm going to talk about or anything else that might be happening here. So some announcements. Unity in Lynnwood's local humanitarian outreach ministry offers a men's clothing drive to benefit the clientele of Everett Gospel Mission. Bring new underwear, socks, and or gently used pants, jeans, shirts, and jackets. On Sundays in November, so plenty of time to go through those closets to bring on Sundays, November 4th, 11th, and 18th. Our Health and Wellness Ministry invites you to Labyrinth 202 on Sunday, October 7th for beginners and advanced alike. The sanctuary will be transformed by a giant labyrinth, sounds so much fun, for our 1 p.m. start. Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson has been teaching the benefits of walking meditation around the globe for 20 years. Please register at the Welcome and Information Station. Unity in Lynnwood Interfaith invites you to the popular Death Cafe on Saturday, October 13th at 9:30 a.m. Eat, drink, and talk about death with the objective of making the most of life now. As Reverend Karuna Duvall says, talking about death won't kill you. So clever. And register online for the second Dinner with Others event on Wednesday, October 17th at 7 o'clock p.m., hosted by Rabbi Ted Falcon and Linda Babin. Of course, very important, don't miss this year's benefit auction. The Mad Hatter Gala will be a lively adult evening full of fun and fundraising. And I'd like to welcome Sandy, the co-chair, up here for a little announcement on that.
So yes, I would like to invite you to our gala this year. It's going to be a lively and fun-filled evening, not to be missed. Trust me, we're having a lot of fun, and I look forward to everybody coming. It is going to be held on the Saturday before Halloween, and the theme is the Mad Hatter Gala from the Alice in Wonderland. So you're invited to wear your favorite costume, a funny hat, or your weird shoes, which you see, I did not get the memo either. So, or just come as you are. We will be selling tickets. They're $40, and we need to sell tickets in advance to be in compliance with our liquor license. So please go ahead and purchase your tickets either at the back of the room, seeing Terry and I, or online at our website. And we're also looking for donations. If you're interested in donating something and maybe you're not sure what that might be, we have a form back there that will give you guidelines on ideas of what to donate. And if you're truly stumped, we are looking for donations of wine for our wall of wine. So if you're stumped or not stumped, that would be a great idea as well. We're looking to have the donations by October 14th, which is only a few short weeks away. I think that's about it. So please do join us. It's going to be fun. Would love to have everybody attend, and thanks.
Thank you, Sandy. And I can promise you, it was our first time last year, and I had no idea what to expect. And it really was a blast and highly competitive bidding, I have to add. So, dust off that checkbook. Finally, please note that many staff and leaders will be off-site this week for a regional conference. Yay. Tuesday's fifth tenant will not meet. And finally, all good things happening here at Unity in Lynnwood can be found on your printed program or by visiting our Facebook page or the calendar page of our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
And Lori has a beautiful CD for sale in Friendship Hall, brand new, so please stop in and visit her. And if you'll join me, we'll sing our peace song. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Woo, if there's a first name of any soul you'd like to introduce into this powerful and palpable consciousness of love and support, simply speak that name now. And so on behalf of those spoken, whether with the human tongue or the human heart, it matters not, we say yes. We say yes. We say yes in a spiritual sense. We say not yes to that world of appearances, apparitions, partialities, effects, but we say yes to the higher truths of that realm which we call and know to be God. We say yes to the transcendent realities of life. Life, wisdom, sufficiency, we say yes always to love, to love. And so it is that we close this time together by raising our voices boldly and with great faith and speaking these words of benediction. There is one power and one presence in, through, and around all creation. So we go forth as the eyes of divine love, as the tongues of divine wisdom, as the hands of divine sufficiency, and the bold and ready hearts of divine life. Have a great week, Unity in Lynnwood.